Recording is loading. Okay, so it records. So hopefully that works.
Jermaine.
Sorry, Richard?
Hey, Matt. What's up?
No, sorry. Sweet. So Matt, I don't know if you want to just take it away at this point. There's quite a few people here. Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
So, hello everyone. My name is Matt, and today I would like to talk about the importance and struggles of team-led marketing. And first of all, I would like to ask everyone to put their hands up with the little button if they ever had to have any teams or founders to post on X. Okay, cool. That is good to see. And put your hands up again, and if it was easy. Not so much. So this is the exact gap I'm going to be talking about today. So why is it matters? Because of who people actually trust. Edelman, a global PR firm, asked in 2024, who you trust to tell the truth about new tech. And someone like me and you, a regular person, scored 74, the same as a scientist. And they both well above a journalist or a government leader. So a real everyday person is as credible as a scientist. That voice is your most powerful channel. The whole case for team-led marketing is this. And if you decide that you want to work with a team to start posting on X, what can you do to actually make that happen? First of all, it's structure. It's really important to have a weekly sync with the marketing team and the people who actually need to be posting on Twitter or X. You guys need to plan a content calendar together and come up with some plan so nobody starts with a blank sheet, a blank week. And inspiration is really important. You need to feed the founder some angles and ideas. What is worth posting about this week? But the really important is that the founder or the team need to be writing the posts themselves, because you cannot be writing in their voice and it's just not going to land if it's from someone else's hands. So you need to let them write the content and post it for themselves. And this is not just the theory. We ran exactly this at the landing protocol I was working at. We had weekly syncs, we had content calendars for the project, for the founder, and weekly inspirations for him. He wrote every post, we synced, and it actually worked. He started getting traction and getting followers. But after a while, the founder just stopped posting consistently. And it was not a dramatic quit. It just got patchy and then quiet. And the traction stalled with it because X algorithm really rewards showing up. And he believed in it. He knew it was working, and nobody told him to stop, but he still did. Why? And the reason we concluded was almost boring. It was time. Staying consistent means basically living on X. Like, you need to scroll through X daily for hours. And the founder who's running a company just simply does not have time for that. You need to be scrolling for inspiration, what is worth posting about, and staying up to date on what is actually happening in your niche. So the inspiration dried up and the posting stopped with it. So this is why we built to fix exactly. It started as an internal tool. It would just send daily briefs about yesterday's performance. It would pull news from our niche. It was just to bring the up-to-date part to you without actually having to scroll on X. And the other half of the problem, inspiration and something to engage with, Internie also brings these tweets from your niche that are worth replying or quoting. It just keeps you in the loop without scrolling through Twitter. Alongside with the brief, today's content suggestion, an angle on the news, not just a topic. It drafts in your voice because it builds from your posts from Twitter, and it kind of sounds like you, but you can still edit and make it more like you. But if you are not sure about the first draft, you can also ask Intern for elaborating, and it's gonna expand on ideas for 3 more versions, steal your voice, steal your call. So we started a beta, and we got our first beta testers, and everyone was using it, but somehow the post still didn't come. People liked the product, but not a massive amount of people started actually posting on X. They rather enjoyed the niche updates, but not actually acting on them. So we had quite a few calls with these testers to figure out why they would not post. And the calls came down to 2 reasons people wouldn't. One of them, it's a really easy fix, too much noise. Internet would send too much messages, and it's an easy fix. But the other one is really important and really new, was really new to us. It was fear of posting. Like, even with the draft ready, people were still scared to hit post. What is fear actually? It is overthinking every post before it goes out. What if it flops? What if it's too AI, if it's not serious enough? All this overthinking, and the post never actually gets sent. And this always hits your most trusted voices the hardest. It's always the devs, the founders, the people who are not actually marketers themselves, the exact voices who people trust the most. And now I would like to open the conversation and ask you guys on what you think. What would make the fear go away for a founder or a team member? You can just put your hands up if you have anything to add. If you want to. Yeah, Intern?
I think if they had some sort of like, what's the word? Data to kind of back it up, sometimes that might help. Obviously, just a little bit of an actual nudge to do it. And that would also help. Sorry, I just saw Nick pointing to a good example of the strategy they're using in the chat as well, just to highlight that one.
Yeah, exactly. This is a really good point. And these were also our foundings. The things that we landed on was 3 reasons that would make anyone. Oh, Nacho has his hands up. Sorry, you can go ahead.
No, I was going to add something similar to what Intern said, that if the founder sees that their posts are actually performing well, I think that would make the fear go away.
Yep, exactly. We had the same point, as you can see on the screen as well. Yeah, so the 3 reasons that we concluded was, if a topic is trending, people are actually talking about it, it's good to post. If you'll perform well, if you have a rock solid reason on the format or the topic itself that actually already works, it's good to post. And if it's unique, if there is a clear reason the post itself would stand out, that is another reason. And if your client or team is ever in doubt, you can just walk them through these 3 steps, and you can make sure that they see how it will actually work. Now, things you should be doing to get your founder or client posting. As we said, hold a weekly content calendar meeting with them at least once a week. Allow them to write the post themselves so it stays genuine. Deliver a regular niche updates so they're up to date on what people are actually talking about on X, and eliminate the fear of posting by backing it up with data on how this topic is likely trending on X, or people talking about it, by reasoning it will likely perform well, and bringing unique angles so people don't feel like it's general or boring. So with version 2 for Internie, we decided to go with 2 modes based on your goal. Staying up to date focuses on daily news plus reply opportunities, and only writes posts if you ask it, like on demand. And if you choose the start posting one, the news drop to weekly, so it doesn't flood the chat, and the reply opportunities come more often, so you can act on them. And start posting is carried by two things: reasoning and gamification. Reasoning is every suggestion explains why the post will perform well, why it's unique, or what the niche is saying about it. That the fear is answered right there. And gamification is only for just to keep you pushing to post consistently instead of posting once and never coming back to it again. So version 2 is coming out in a couple of weeks, and I would like to invite you guys here exclusively to try it out first. If you are interested, you can see the QR code on the screen. Just add me on Telegram, or you can drop your handle in the chat, and I can add you as well. And I will let you know if we are started with version 2. Any feedback would be appreciated, of course. We can also hyper-personalize during the beta. So if you have anything to add or any ideas how to make Internie better, just let me know. We can talk it through and we can hyper-personalize it for you. And also, if you give valuable feedback during the beta, we can give you a permanent free seat even after the launch. So I think this is a win-win situation, and I would love to see you guys using the tool, because I think this can really help any marketer. And yes, that was it from me. And if you have any questions, please shoot.
Okay, sweet. Thanks, mate. For the Q&A, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it like people allowed to ask the questions live, or do you prefer it in the chat? Obviously, you can also do both for people who are okay asking live and who prefer to ask in the chat. But Matt, I'll leave it up to you what you prefer.
Really up to you guys. Like, whoever has any questions, I can see the chat, I think. Yep. You can just write it there, or put your hands up, or just, I don't know, start talking, and I will try to answer any questions that you guys have.
Yeah, sweet. Go ahead, guys.
I see a lot of handles in the chat. That is really nice. Thank you very much. I will add you guys. Nick, yeah, fan?
Hey, thank you for that, Matt. Really enjoyed that. Just wondering, what should be the weekly kind of process and communication with the founder? So if we're using this tool as well, would you expect like a weekly check-in with the founder to reassess and everything, or is this a replacement for that communication?
I don't think it could be a replacement, but better an addition tool to help you, especially. You can set it up, for example, you can set it up internally as your founder. You can, if your founder or team member does not want to use the tool, you can just give internally his Twitter account, and it starts to kind of pick up his voice and how he posts. And you can either share the content with him, or you can ask him to try the tool out. But really important, what really worked for us is that the weekly meeting, we would create a content calendar and decide on which day the founder would post and what. And we would have like a Notion calendar, and in the Notion calendar, we would have inspirations for him, or posts that would either kind of similar to the post that we would like to see, or some posts that he can reply or quote to. And these can be really used with Internally. Like, Internally can really find these posts that you can reply or quote to. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah, that did. And I think one thing that we've not mentioned is like stuff that would go alongside the, let's say it's a tweet. I didn't hear you talk about like pictures of the founder. That's kind of one of the big things that I see is the value of team-led marketing is adding a face behind the brand, and people trust people. They don't trust companies, right? So if you lead with a photo of the founder or a video of them saying the thing that they've, would think would be a good tweet, isn't that such a powerful strategy that people should be using as well?
Oh, it really is. It really is. And this is what we realized as well, that because our founder, for example, had like, I don't know, an NFT for his profile picture. And as soon as he put his real face up, he would like start getting followers even more. And we started doing live streams where the community would actually be able to, ask questions, and we would, not only explain things through announcements or anything, but we would hold live streams and really go into detail about each thing. So yeah, that is a really good point, and a face really helps.
Let me just jump on this because I'm from the Internie team as well. And yeah, Nick, I 100% agree what you mentioned, as Matt also said. And I would add to that it is possible to write everything for your founder, right? So it's very feasible to write the posts yourself. But to have everything genuine, I think it's very important to keep things on their side and just give them inspiration. Otherwise, I think the posts will never come out truly genuine and will never have that nice human or touch to it that is the differentiator for the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. And I also see that Jean said, I sometimes feel like founders feel like they don't have interesting insights or much value to add to conversations. That's also blocks them from posting. This is fear of posting. You can just go ahead and post, and people, maybe not all of them, but people do care. And especially if you're a founder, especially if you use Internally, that drafts you ideas, you can just go ahead and read the idea and take off from that. Not post that idea exactly, but it is really good for brainstorming, basically. And as soon as fear of posting is gone, and you just start posting and commenting and replying, you will see traction.
Exactly. Just to add to that, I 100% agree. And yeah, Internally is something that will help find you the unique angle, I think. And on many occasions, what we saw is that those founders just didn't believe or didn't know why that post will be actually performing well. If you just give a reason on why you think it will perform well, that already just eliminates the fear. And yeah, that's very important.
Yeah. Wayne has his hands up, so go ahead.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm curious to know if you guys have tested it yourselves. Have you been using it yourselves, and you make either posts for yourselves or for founders, or I'm curious what you've been doing like that, please.
We have tested, and we did start posting. I'm not much of a poster myself, and I don't have a lot of followers, but we are more focused on developing right now. And with version 2, we are going to have an internal competition, basically, and whoever gains more followers with Internally will win in the internal competition. But yeah, but we had beta testers, and we have realized that it wasn't good enough to make people post. So that's why we are pivoting with the version 2 and going with 2 different branches for Intern.
Okay, so you had people trying it out, but they weren't actually like using it full time, or it didn't inspire them enough to basically actually post.
Yeah,
Now this is your second version, and basically that's what we're hopping in here for. We will come in and see and
yes,
work
sir.
like
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. And that's why we came up with the gamification for the version 2 to actually kind of incentivize you to post, so to push you through gamified tools to make you post.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks.
Thank you for your question. Aditya.
Yeah. Hi, Matt.
Hey.
So, Matt, I have this query. Like, for example, like first of all, Intern sounds a great product to get updates about a niche, maybe what's going on in the market. So, let's say like at BBC, we just 90% of the time we work with DeFi clients. So let's say we are working with DeFi founders. We have like 4 founders for whom we manage their personal brand as well as the main brand. So let's say if I ask Internally to feed me with the updates, what's going on the DeFi niche, and what are the new updates. So I believe that Internally will provide me same update of that particular niche. Let's say DeFi. So how do we stop the content from converging, because we are working with 4 founders, all are from DeFi niche, and we are getting same data from Internally. Then we have the same news, like same angle to speak or same angle to post. So how are we gonna stop the converging between this?
I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly, but the question was how we would stop Internally from posting the same question again.
Not posting. Not posting. So, for example, at Bullish Preview, we work just with DeFi clients. So, assume that we are working with DeFi client. We have 4 founders. We are managing content for them, the personal brand content. And with Internally, we are getting data. Like we are asking Internally to pull up the data of DeFi niche, like what's going into the DeFi niche, what are the new updates going on, and we are getting data from Internally, and then we are using that particular data and feeding that data to maybe these 4 founders who are of same niche. So this creates convergence between these 4 founders. Like these all will have same data of the same niche. So same news is coming.
Yeah, Moshe, I understand now. Thank you. First of all, you Internally works for 1 account at 1 session, and you give the founder's account to Internally, and it will fetch the people they follow, and it will start forming a niche for each person individually. So even if the 4 founders are in the same project, they wouldn't exactly have the same niche. Of course, the news part, I don't know which part of DeFi they're part of, but let's say they're part of the lending protocol, or I don't know, L1, L2, or RWAs. The news will be similar, if probably not the same, but really similar. It's going to be about RWA, for example. But the tweets that it surfaces will be personalized a bit more, because people follow different people, and the whole niche is going to be a bit more personalized, and not the same tweets are going to be surfaced for all 4.
Yeah, I think I missed this point. Like if the tool is going to analyze the followers, the following, they will understand what kind of feed is going to be there. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, and you can also give seed accounts during onboarding to form the niche better. So for example, if you have 5 people that you really like the content of, and if you don't want to miss their posts ever, and you want to comment under their posts, you can feed those 4 or 5 seed accounts and the whole niche is going to be formed around them, basically, or like really close to those people.
Gotcha. Thanks, man.
No, thank you for your question.
I noticed also there was a question from Tom in the chat just further up, just to highlight it. What has been your biggest obstacle so far? I'm not sure what that means, developing a program or anything, or towards getting the founder to post, but
Right. I think it's about developing Intern. Our biggest obstacle, as I mentioned in the presentation, was people not posting, because we built a product to get people posting, and a lot of people actually used the product, and a lot of people said really good things about the product, but we checked them and no one would actually post. And that was that is our biggest obstacle at the moment right now, and this is why we're trying to figure out for version 2 how to get people posting.
I think a question I might have is, so like I'm looking into the team-led marketing thing from my side, and looking to head up that kind of initiative. If you've ever been involved in like maybe like an internal campaign like that, how have you found the, what's the word, the obstacle of getting people to post? So like not just the founder, but like multiple team members, and keeping that going.
Yeah, we have tried with content calendars again, but we would have like a topic for a week, and each individual person on the team would have different angles of the same topic, and someone would post on Monday, someone would post on Wednesday, but about the same topic, different angles. And yeah, it was really hard, to be honest, because we had to go after people to make sure that the content was written. And then we started, we tried to write the content for them, and they would just, like fix a couple of things up. Yeah, that's how we did, and it was really, really not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine, because that's one thing I'm imagining right now, is trying to get people to post on a regular and consistent basis.
Yeah, of course. But this Internally, we took this in consideration during the development of Internally, and we have created actually like a team. You can join a team, and it would actually give you topics, and would actually create content ideas based on the team you are on, and based on a topic that you want to, tackle weekly.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think some kind of gamification or rewardation, or some kind of rewards within the team is always, or acknowledgement at least, if someone has some kind of impression, or a high number of impression, or a high number of follower growth, is always something good to have there, and it can always motivate the team itself. But again, channeling back, I think very important is that most team members get stuck on the inspiration side and the schooling side. Okay, where do I start? What do I post? And when they just sit down to write their first post, they are just flooded with all the different kind of happenings on X, and they're like, oh my God, I don't know how I can form my own angle on this. I don't know what to post. And if you can pretty much just give a couple of inspirations and give a couple of reasonings on why that topic is trending now, why it is unique, and have a couple of potential inspirations that they can take on that, I think that's always helpful to be there. And of course, you can never really take out the nagging part, because sooner or later everyone will be a bit bored of posting, or will have less time of posting. That's when you need to remind that given person that being consistent is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about. The way I've been thinking about forming the campaign is a leaderboard. The scoring, I've kind of got Claude to figure that out for me, to be honest. based around like, I don't know if you're familiar with Kaito and the smart engagements, kind of using that as a metric. And then incentivization around maybe like a small prize pool or something like that, like $1,000 for the prize pool, and top 3 posters get X amount or something like that. Yeah, that's the way I've been thinking about it lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. If anyone, I'm just checking the chat, see if there's anything.
Yeah, I see Nick's comment about the leaderboard feature. That is actually that we have talked about. It is, of course, like the end game, but it is a good idea. Yeah, and having an X list or X feed of top founders' accounts and niche would be helpful. The way we form our niches are something like this. So we have a really nice script that finds really valuable X profiles, basically. So if you like during onboarding, Internie would ask you questions like to form a picture about you and to figure out the way you post and the post that you would like to see, and of course the niche that you are in. And we have a really nice script. If you have enough seed accounts or enough picture of a person, that it will find within the niche that those 150 really valuable X profiles that are worth replying or coding to or connecting with or just be around, basically. Yeah. Well, this was fun. Thank you, guys.
Okay, sweet. No more questions, right?
I don't see any more in the chat.
Just quickly ask if anyone has anything before you wrap it up, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to ask quickly, like, will you add us to a group, Matt, where we are going to chat about this? Will you put together a group where we can chat and stuff like that?
I think I'm gonna individually talk to you guys. Like I'm going to keep track of who's from here. I might might create a group because Chongor will be added in the group, I think, as well, and add the profile picture to the group so everyone knows what the group is. And we'll let you know as soon as version 2 starts, and you guys can test it out if you like.
Yeah. Right now, we're actively working on posting for certain founders, and at the same time, we're also heavily discussing the same problem that you faced, where you're talking either to not where you, specifically you, but just like where founders are talking to the wrong users and getting feedback that is actually from users that are not actually ever going to use the product. So I was curious if you guys were using it, because this is a real obstacle actually in actually getting a product out the door that people are actually willing to pay for, right? Because everybody's willing to build something and make something, but damn, to actually find people that are willing to pay for it and willing to give you proper feedback and stuff like that, that's a different story completely, because the people that are happy are usually silent in the background.
That is
and the people that are, loud and noisy are not necessarily the people who are actually going to be sticking around, so.
Yeah, that is very true. Yes.
So that's why I was curious. All right. I look forward to it.
Right. But if you guys are eager to try it out, you can try it out right now, version 1 at Internie.ai. You can just add it to Slack or Telegram. But yeah, version 2 is coming in a couple of weeks, so that will be a better version for sure.
Yes, and just to add to that, Wayne, right now, so what we're getting right now is like we already have quite a few beta testers that we're actively in discussions with. So we are getting those feedbacks, which I think is very valuable in the shaping of the product that's shaped version 2 itself. And yes, as Matt said, we didn't see as many posts by Internie, inspired by Internie itself, as posts didn't come out too much. But most of the time what we're got as feedback is that Internie was very useful on the inspiration side of things, so, and being up to date. So that's why we started to pretty much separate based on the user's goal on what Internie is for. On one side, we're going to be allowing it to really double down on being up to date in that given niche and just being up to date on the news, what people are talking about, and so forth and so forth. While on the other side, if someone really just wants some nagging and some pulling through of posting, it will be hyper focused on the fact that, okay, let's get you posted, let's really focus on your voice, and let's get it out there.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add that in there.
Great.
Yeah. And to answer Nick's question in the chat, that if it's usable for non-Web3 founders on LinkedIn, version 1 is DeFi focused. Version 2, we are trying to introduce dynamic niches where not necessarily only Web3 or DeFi people can use it. Not sure about the LinkedIn integration, or if we can, fetch posts or people from LinkedIn, but it is a really great idea, to be fair. And thank you for that question. We'll be looking into that.
Cheers. Thanks for that, Matt.
Sweet. I don't know if anyone has anything else they want to ask.
No, thanks.
No? Sweet. But I noticed actually just one thing as I've been using it, the recommendations on suggested things has been getting better. So I think I'll echo what you guys said, but I've used it a lot for staying in touch and up to date with certain posts I might have missed. I think it's pretty cool on that aspect, and the fact that I get pinged on a daily basis, kind of cool.
That's really nice. Have you been pushing the buttons that I would reply or pass, because that is the one that is teaches.
Yeah. I noticed that when I started using that, it actually started doing it a lot better in terms of like the suggested replies. And then I don't know if it's supposed to be done this way or not, but I would sometimes give it what I actually replied, just to see what it was like. And I noticed it did take note of that. So I think that was pretty cool. And then the replies, I was just looking because I got suggested a reply for something just then. And it's a lot better than what it was initially.
That is very nice to hear. And yes, it actually does matter if you tell it what you replied or stuff, because it keeps context. Like it remembers your conversations and actually listens.
Nice. And does it? Sorry, just a quick question. Does it also like take notes of my posts and how I'm posting, like the language?
Yeah, it does see your posts. Yeah, and it sees how many likes you get, or not the engagements, not yet, but yeah, and it actually studies the way you post and what you say.
Okay, cool. That's nice. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it was doing one or the other or both, so that's good to know.
Yeah, it definitely fetches your profile daily to check if you posted or what you posted.
Sweet, nice. I like it.
All right. Thank you very, very much for having us.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate it. I appreciate you guys taking the time. And thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll just stop the recording now.